Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and The Mandalorian dropped a couple days ago, just a couple hours until episode 2, which coming off of the El Capitan world premiere last night where they showed episodes 1, 2, and 3. Apparently, it's about ready to go off, and it's truly spectacular Star Wars, but we don't know anything yet because thankfully people aren't being jerks and spoiling what they saw. This video isn't about that. This video is about a potential rumor and something that the more I think about looking at the available information, probably feels more accurate than not. And I say this because it just feels like, for one, fan service, and two, something that Disney very much needs right now. They very much need it right now in order to get hype to absolute maximum in order to push The Rise of Skywalker. So, according to Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, he said in his Mandalorian review, well, you know what, I'm just going to play what he said, and then we'll go from there.
We're going to learn more about it. There's a rumor that Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan Kenobi in this series, and he's the guy who finds the foundling who becomes the Mando. So if that goes that way, won't that be rad? I hope that rumor is true.
Interesting, right? Now, it's not that Jason doesn't have his sources. I mean, as far as Star Wars hookups go, this dude is one of the guys who's kind of made his name off of talking about it and knowing the right people. So if he's saying that it's a rumor, there's a likelihood that it could potentially be real. Now, we know that the Obi-Wan series has already been greenlit. It's going to go into production in June 2020, and it's already being worked on as a 6-episode limited run series. At least that's what they're saying right now. I mean, look at yesterday, right? One day post the first episode of Mandalorian, and Alan Horn is coming out there and saying that they're already thinking about the idea of how cool it would be to make a Mandalorian movie. Trust me, we're going to get a lot of content out of these characters, especially in the time between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. We're going to get a lot of content coming out of that time period, and I think it's going to be exceptionally cool. But when you look at Ewan McGregor himself, right? When you start asking the question, Ewan McGregor, is he going to be in the show? Well, that would mean that if he was going to have a cameo appearance in the show, then he would probably have an Obi-Wan beard, and he would probably have an Obi-Wan style haircut, and he would probably be looking a little bit like that. Well, thankfully, Ewan McGregor was on a press tour for Dr. Sleep, and when he stopped by Jimmy Kimmel, this is the very first thing Jimmy Kimmel asked him because he, like me, noticed it right off the bat.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me
Very
again.
good to see you.
Great to be here. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Is this an Obi-Wan beard, or is this just a beard?
It's sort of a practice Obi-Wan, you know?
Ah, interesting.
It's not the real deal yet, because I've got something to shoot before I shoot that.
Okay.
But it's a little practice. It's just a little lazy beard.
I see.
Yeah.
You're just testing it out to see how it's going.
Oh, is that an Obi-Wan beard? Are you doing anything with Obi-Wan right now? Because we know that the show was announced back in August, and it's now the end of October. Oh no, it's a practice beard. It's a lazy beard. Look, his hair is long. His hair is long like the length of Obi-Wan in at least Revenge of the Sith, and he's got the beard. It's coming in. Like, it kind of makes sense that he would be potentially shooting a cameo for the Mandalorian to pop up sometime this season. Now, they probably wanted to hold off until towards the end or the announcement of the Obi-Wan show, and they didn't want to give anything away. And why I say that's an interesting thing, because if you look at his secret, by the way, he says that he kept this for 4 years, right? Ewan McGregor on the difficulties of keeping his Obi-Wan return a secret for 4 years. And again, look at the beard right there, and look at the beard that I just showed you guys, and it's very similar, right? It looks a little bit older, but he also looks a bit more, he looks Obi-Wan. It's an Obi-Wan beard. I don't care what anyone says. It's an Obi-Wan beard. So not only that, right? So he's got the beard. They shoot in Los Angeles, right? They're doing the Obi-Wan show. Why wouldn't they put a cameo in The Mandalorian? So you might be asking yourself, well, how would they put a cameo in The Mandalorian if they've already shot season 1? Well, I just looked this up, and I found this article here saying The Mandalorian season 2 has already begun filming. And if you followed any of the production on the show, you know how they do it. They have this big room with a bunch of video walls. That's basically where they have all of their outside set pieces. And so it would make a lot of sense to be able to bring in, you know, Ewan McGregor, pop him in an Obi-Wan robe, do that flashback sequence, and then digitally enter it in, or just edit the thing into an episode down the road to make sure that the spoilers don't happen. Because anything they need to pick up right now, they could pick up and then probably have ready to go, provided it's not too VFX heavy during this season. So look, the way that I see it is that Star Wars is going to become the MCU. We know this is going to be happening, right? And we know that they're going to be taking a very pro Disney Plus approach to this, basically TV shows. We're not going to see a movie for 3 more years. So hyping it up, bringing in Obi-Wan for a brief cameo, letting us know that he's still alive in the universe, that he maybe perhaps knows Mando, or he's the one who found Mando. We know that through the Clone Wars, he has a connection to Mandalore. He could have brought him there as a foundling. We know these things to be potentially true. At least that aspect in canon is true. So it wouldn't be hard for them to tie it in. And we know that with Filoni working on the series, being a creative partner with Favreau, it's entirely possible that they are going to pull from the Clone Wars, which is near and dear to Filoni's heart, which is why I think that anything involving the Separatists and the droid army, any kind of reference from that is going to most likely be a Filoni inclusion. But it just makes sense to tie it into the larger narrative, especially with what's coming down on the pipeline. So look, this whole thing is cool. If the rumor is true, if it's true, there's a lot there that could potentially happen. Just a brief cameo appearance of Obi-Wan showing up. That could be who the kid is looking at when the door opens and he gets pulled out. It could be Obi-Wan standing there with a lightsaber in his robes, having just sliced down a super battle droid because he's done it who knows how many countless thousands of times before, and him having saved this kid. And that would be something that is fascinating, because that would be then a tie to everything else that we have. Not only would it kind of, I think, make the Yoda storyline, the Baby Yoda storyline, a lot more, dramatic and intriguing, but it would also give us a more of an emotional connection to Mando. And a lot of the concern I saw was how Pedro Pascal has the swagger, but his delivery is a little bit stiff right now. But I think we also haven't necessarily warmed up to him. He is the protagonist. And so having the audience legitimately care about the protagonist is going to be something that they are going to have to really sell. It's not that that's a problem. I really feel like he's a good character. But if you go, hey, look, he was saved by Obi-Wan Kenobi when he was a kid, that is fascinating. That is interesting. That is fascinating. And that just tells me that Filoni and Favreau are looking at everything and they're going like, let's tie it all together. Because when it comes to the Force, it's all connected, right? It's all connected. When it comes to Disney and product connectivity, that's called synergy, and all of their stuff does the same thing too. So that's kind of where we find ourselves right now, is in this situation where this potential rumor, if it is true, won't happen towards like the end of the season. That might actually be what happens in episode 7, because I do feel that whatever happens in episode 7, which is going to be coming out on the 18th, not the 20th, because that's the day Rise of Skywalker comes out, that whatever happens on the episode 7 is going to tie in directly with the Rise of Skywalker, or directly with the Skywalker saga in some way. And they've done that specifically to build up hype. And if the only connection is a flashback showing Obi-Wan saving Mando when he was a kid, I think a lot of people are going to be going like, oh my God, ah! And you're going to see fanboys' heads explode. And then that's only going to basically make massive, insane hype for not only the Obi-Wan series coming out in 2021, but also very much also the Rise of Skywalker, because you're going to have that immediate connection to it. And that is really what they want to push to get butts in seats. If they're smart, they will drop something like that is a direct connection in that episode. And I think if this rumor is true, that's probably when they're going to do it. I think that they just shot it. I think that beard is not a test beard. It's not a teaser beard. It is an Obi-Wan beard, but it's just Obi-Wan looking a little bit younger. And now he can shave it off and then grow it in again before coming back into film in June of 2020. Anyway, this is just speculation. It's all rumor. It's fun. The key thing here is that it's fun. So I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions on this one. Do you think that this is a cool theory? Do you think it's legitimate to happen? Or is it just a pipe dream? Is it just a fantasy, something that Jason Ward heard that is no way based in reality, and that any of the information that could or could not be corroborating makes sense or doesn't make sense? This is something I really want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this, because I think for those of us out there who love Mandalorian, we're going to be talking about this show for far long after the first 8 episodes and for years to come. So let's have some fun with it. Again, it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. Your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. Please, if you make it this far, type Obi-Wan in the chat so I know you guys made it. And also be sure to smack on that subscribe and hit that like and hit that bell. And if you want to support the channel, Patreon link is in the video description. It does help keep things afloat right now. And I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day, and may the Force be with you. This video is supported by patrons like you. If you'd like to become a patron, please head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarbo.